So, human beings are given to all kinds of thinking processes. There are people in this world who are so desperate at the time of death that they are amidst their family and there is a lot of strife going on. There are fights between children for the property sake. Now this person is on deathbed and there are 2-3 sons and they are fighting over each other. I should get this property, I should get this property, and so on and so forth. This old man who is dying is thinking about it. He says, I want to give this property to my youngest son. And here I have these 2 others, they are trying to usurp him. This is my property. I own this thing. I have all the right in the world to give it to whomsoever that I feel like. Okay, so we had continued, we had concluded up to verse 4 from chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. So there were a few questions which Arjuna had asked. So his questions were a little tough. So it was about Brahma, what is Adhyatma, what is Karma, what is Adibhuta, what is Adidaiva, and what is Adiyagya. So these are the questions which Arjuna had asked because Krishna had raised this issue in the previous chapter. So now let us see what Krishna has to say. So we are continuing from verse 5 of chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. He who departs from the body, thinking of me alone, even at the time of death, attains my state, there is no doubt about it. We'll do verse 6 also. Arjuna, thinking of whatever entity one leaves the body at the time of death, that and that alone one attains, being ever absorbed in its thought. These 2 lines should give you an understanding that any thought that is going on in your mind, any thought, you may be thinking of eating something. Just imagine, you are thinking that I will eat something. Because you may be old and you have a desire that I want to eat this, I want to eat that, so many things. Can you imagine what is going to happen in your next life? As per this law, whatever a person thinks at the time of death, he gets that in his next life. Let us say the person says, I haven't had wine, for so many years, or just thinking like that. So can you imagine what is going to be his condition when he wakes up in his next life? So he's going to end up over there. Human beings are given to all kinds of thinking processes. There are people in this world who are so desperate at the time of death that they are amidst their family and there is a lot of strife going on. There are fights between children for the property sake. Now this person is on deathbed and there are 2-3 sons and they are fighting over each other. I should get this property, I should get this property, and so on and so forth. This old man who is dying is thinking about it. He says, I want to give this property to my youngest son. And here I have these two others, they are trying to usurp him. This is my property. I own this thing. I have all the right in the world to give it to whomsoever that I feel like. Imagine this is a scene. What is going to happen to this person then? When he dies? Think what is being done over here, what is said in these two verses. This man will be born again, or he may hang around in that property like a ghost till he is released from bondage. He can just continue to be in this world over and over again. Maybe he will become a rat, or maybe he'll become a worm in his own property, thinking that this is my property, this is my property. Now let us come to another state. An old couple is there. The husband and wife are there. And the husband is thinking, after I die, what is going to happen to my wife? I want you to think, these are always the last thoughts of people. Or the wife is dying and she's thinking, what is going to happen to my husband after I die? Don't worry. You will be back with this same idiot again. Who says you are going to become the husband or the wife in the next life? You can become a worm in his body or her body. Do you have that guarantee? And this person may hate you because you may be a part of a disease in that body. You wanted to be with this person, isn't it? Now be with this person. There are Indians who have this great idea that they want 7 lives of theirs to be, spent with their husband. And they have this saptapadi and all that, going around in circles and all that. And they wish that they have the same husband. Now imagine this husband has a roving eye, or he's a drunkard, or he's the most miserable person on earth, or the wife is a spendthrift. She likes to go and spend here and there and there and there, and she doesn't even take care of the house. She doesn't cook, she doesn't do anything, she doesn't even go out to work. She's only bothered about her personal coiffure. She is bothered about her hair. My hair, is it looking good? My body, is it looking good? I want to go to the gym, I want to do that. And now you want to spend 7 lives with this same person. So when you die, you feel, I wish I am there with this person for the next 7 lives. Well, 1 life you can't spend with this person. And you want 7 lives with this person? By the way, who has guaranteed you that you are going to be the wife only? Or who has guaranteed you that you are going to be the husband only of this woman? There is no way of guaranteeing anything. If they were fighting like cats and dogs, in the next life, one will be a dog, the other will be a cat. And their fighting they can continue in the next life. Did you understand? If one is a bloodsucker, there are lots of men who keep on beating their wife and taking money from them. I know these kind of people also. I have a lot of examples with me. He's a bloodsucker. What do you think is his next life and her next life? If she is born again and he is born again, one might be a tick in his body, you know that? Who is sucking the blood of the other person. Maybe one is born as a dog and the other one is a tick living on that person's body. So this last thought of that person, whoever is dying, if this is what they think of, that I want to be with this beloved of mine, I want to live my life like this, and some people will say, no, think about it. There are lots of people in the United States who, when they are going to the, gallows or whatever you call it, the electric chair, are they asked this question, what is your last wish? Are they asked this question, yes or no? Then this question is asked. The reason why this is there even in other religions of this world is because if you die with that wish of yours, you are going to come back as that. Maybe your wish was to be a burger, eat a burger. Next time the burger is going to eat you. That means you can imagine. You may be a pig or a cow or something like that and eating a cud or munching on you. But why would a person want to think like this? Why is it not correct to think that you want to be with the Divine Lord? The pettiness of human being is, I want money, I want this, I want that. Well, if you die thinking that you need a job, well, good for you. In the next life, you are going to be in that place only. You are never going to grow in your life. So this is a ominous warning for everybody. So why do people say, why do all the sages and the saints say, take the name of God, take the name of God, take the name of God constantly? Imagine you are sitting and cursing your mother or your father, and suddenly you have a heart attack and you die. Do you think that that mother that you are thinking of or the father that you are thinking of are the big villains in your life? You think you are not going to be born with them? You are guaranteeing yourself death and rebirth connected to the same people. This is a very, very dicey situation. Why would you want that? Any idea whatsoever that you have. So, he who departs from the body, thinking of me alone, will come to me. Shri Krishna says, wouldn't that be good? So, Shri Krishna is very clear when he says these words. If you were to die, and you just keep on saying Krishna, 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 you will come to him. But if you keep on saying burger, 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 you know what's going to happen to you. Huh? You want money, 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 money. Some people are there, problem, 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 problem. Don't worry, you are going to be the biggest problem in your own life. So what is all this? This teaches us that we have to eradicate all the dirty thoughts from our mind, including that having the same husband or the wife for the next 7 lives. The wife may think that she wants to have, 7 lives with the same husband. If you go into the mind of that man and ask him, that question, he would say, oh, don't worry, who is going to come with this person? Next time I want to get married to a very hot and a sexy woman. He's not bothered about idiots like you. Whereas you are thinking, I want to get married to this same man. Have you seen your face? It doesn't work like that. So always think of the divine and don't think of any other thing. And do you remember the verse where Shri Krishna says, whomsoever that you think of, maybe you are thinking of some God somewhere. That God you will attain. That heaven also you will attain. But you are going to be a chaprasi in that heaven. Chaprasi means a clerical person or a very, very low grade person. You may be just standing outside as a watchman. That's what you are going to be. In Shri Krishna's heaven, there is no such thing. The difference between all the heavens is different, you know. So this we will come to know in the future, because right now the verse do not say that. So we will move to the next one. We are doing chapter 8, verse 7. Therefore, Arjuna, think of me at all times and fight. With mind and reason thus set on me, you will doubtless come to me. This is again a line which tells us very clearly that come whatever may, think of me only. Don't think of any other thing. The reason is like this. Whether you are going to war, whether you are driving on the highway, whether you are sitting in the bed, whether you are in the office or any other place, can death strike you any moment, anywhere? This is a guaranteed thing. You cannot even say when death is going to come to you. And death comes sneaking up on you. Look at all those people who suddenly lost their life. How many people are there in this world? The 9/11, all these things that have happened in this world. One fine day, one aeroplane comes and crashes. Da-dam! Everything comes to an end. And you were thinking when you went out in the morning, when I go back home, I have to pick up this from the market, I have to do this and I have to do that. Where market? You are not even in the market. There's somebody come and rammed his jet into your building and you are finished. And maybe there is a huge amount of rubble lying on top of you. That is what has happened. And that is what happens in this world also. A flight crashes. One of my very well-known people whom I knew in my past life, these people, 4 of them, one had sued a very great magnate. He was sitting in the front seat. The wife was driving. Not his wife. The other guy sitting behind, his wife was driving. And there was another person there. And suddenly, this woman was driving a Mercedes-Benz at 130 or 140 kilometers per hour at super fast speed. This person who was sitting in the front seat was the owner of billions of dollars worth of property. He was the chairman of another huge corporation and then he was thrown out of that corporation. This lady couldn't control the car. She went and rammed up the car onto the side, and both of them died on the spot. The other 2 lived for the day. That means the wife died, the husband behind lived. Can you imagine such a thing happening? Right in the middle of nowhere. And that is the reason why you are not sure when you are going to die. Death really sneaks up on you any minute. So Shri Krishna says, even if you are in the battlefield, or you are just walking in the road, or whatever you are doing, you may be eating something, you may be drinking something. Think like this, that I am doing this for Krishna's sake. I am just his humble servant. I am serving his purpose. I am fighting this battle because he has put me in this position to fight. So Shri Krishna, I am fighting this battle. You have commanded me to fight. This car you have commanded me to drive. Okay? So the moment you keep on thinking everything is Krishna, what happens is, therefore, think of me at all times and fight. Think of me at all times. If you have thoughts which are in the material world, they are going to destroy your life, even the next one and the next one and the next one as well. Not just this life. We are not talking about this life. This life is to anyway you have finished. You are a miserable person in this life. I mean, if you are a happy person, why would you sit for my satsang? Ask yourself that question. If you are a happy person, you would be dancing in the streets. Maybe going for Tomatina festival, or maybe going to Italy and having wine and all that kind of stuff, So think about all those things. So this idea that you have to know this, you have to always think of Krishna at any and every given point in time. Today is his birthday, tonight. Krishna's name has to be constantly on the lip of the person. Then when you think of me at all times, with mind and reason, your mind always has to be filled with me, not with some trash from this world. I don't have money, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to be running my house this month, I don't know how this is going to happen, I don't know how that is going to happen. Why are you bothered about it? Whoever Krishna has put you in this world, it is his job to give you the money, it is his job to give you this life, even your breath is his. Wouldn't you agree with me? Even the breathing that you are doing is because of his grace. Otherwise, this breathing also you won't do. And this is what you have to understand. Our job is to just take his name. And even that breath which you take, I will tell you where the breath and the thing comes into the picture. This is very unique. You see, when you breathe in and breathe out, there are two cycles happening. The cycle is called hum so hum. Hum so hum. Which means what? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. You are taking constantly the name of God. But now imagine, idiot, why is he doing like this? I don't understand. Such a stupid person. I mean, with every breath you are saying something which is wrong. Instead of hum so hum, you are saying stupid, idiot, and all those things. Why? Why are you cursing somebody? Why are you saying bad about somebody else? Every breath of yours should be his name. So that is what he says. With mind and reason. Reason out. Why is this life there? Why are you here? For what reason are you sitting over here? And then you will understand. So, Shri Krishna is very clear. He says, when you do this, then you will come to me. So now we go to the next verse. We are doing chapter 8, verse 8 of the Bhagavadgita. Arjuna, he who with his mind disciplined through yoga, in the form of practice of meditation and thinking of nothing else, is constantly engaged in the contemplation of God, attains a supremely effulgent divine Purusha, that is God. This is very nice, where he says, first and foremost, you have to discipline your mind. Those who were listening to my satsang yesterday, I hope you remember. The mind should not be controlling you. You should be controlling the mind. A mind is like a wild horse. It keeps on running hither and thither. Goes here and there. If you put reins on him, and if you train this horse, you can discipline this horse very nicely. When you discipline this horse, which is your mind, then you are able to control everything that happens around you. So with your mind under control and totally disciplined, you can tell your mind to do what you want the mind to do. You can say to the mind, now think of Krishna. We call that ekagrata, single pointedness, zeroing on to something, one pointedness. So when you are having this single pointedness and thinking only of the Lord and nothing else in this world, you don't have to think of anything. So when you do that, and you are contemplating only on this one divine Lord, then you will attain that Lord only. So, the mind which is full of utter nonsense in this world, if you were to zero on to only one thing, not allow it to focus here and there, why do the thoughts come of X, Y and Z? Why are you disturbing yourself by thinking of worldly subjects? Any which way, they are not there in your control. Do you think you can control anything in this world? There is nothing you can control. Many years ago, I know a person. They were staying in the elephant corridor. Like in America, you have, Florida. One big bear came inside a restaurant day before yesterday. He climbed down a tree and he made straight for the restaurant. In Florida. I mean, imagine in the middle of the city, this fellow is roaming around. I mean, you have heard of alligators and all those creatures roaming on golf courses. Yes, they are staying in the pond over there, so they are roaming around. You have seen deers come and, roam around in your properties. That is there. In this world, there are lots. Well, the place where we are having our building coming up, there, the peacocks keep on dancing all over the place. They will suddenly appear in a drove and they will keep on walking through. By the way, they are very nasty creatures. They come to destroy the field. At one time they will come and destroy a whole field and go away. Same thing. Like you have these creatures, they will suddenly come and go. So this lady, what she did was, she put a fence. Okay? That was a wire fence. At one time, some 12, 13 elephants came. Which wire fence are they going to stop? Which is going to stop them? They came and she had planted a huge garden. They came and trampled the whole place up, uprooting trees left, right and center. It took that entire wire thing and threw it away. Don't you put a fence over here. This is our property. We are going to walk through this. I mean, imagine who is going to tell an elephant, don't come over here. So that was elephant land. You see, you may have a deer. Okay, you can say shoot or do a deer or do something. But what do you tell an elephant? And that too a whole herd of elephants. So there was no way in which they could be told to do what they... So it's like that, Our life is like this. The single pointedness always has to be maintained. Then only you will attain that thing. The Purusha, the Divine Lord. So we will do one more verse, okay? We are doing chapter 8, Bhagavadgita, verse 9. He who contemplates on all-knowing, ageless being, the ruler of all, subtler than the subtle, the universal sustainer, possessing a form beyond human conception, effulgent like the sun, and far beyond the darkness of ignorance. So he is describing the Purusha. What is this Purusha that we are talking about? The Purusha that you have to talk about. When we are thinking of this Purusha, we have to go and attain this Purusha. Remember this. The Purusha is unmanifest divinity. So, he is all knowing. All knowledge is within this one. Ageless, because there is neither birth nor death. So, because he is not born or he dies, so where is the question of an age? There is no age. The ruler of all. Of course, he is the one through whom everything has come. So he is the ruler, he is the big boss of everything. Subtler than the subtle. Can you understand who he is? There is no way of even pinpointing that, oh, he looks like this person. We can't even say those words. So he is very subtler than the subtle. Yet he is possessing a form. He is a universal sustainer. He is the one who takes care of everything. And yet he possesses a form. There is a form, by the way. It's the form of Narayana. Nobody knows his form. We always look at Narayana in our temples as a person who is lying on the bed of the snake. Lakshmi and Brahmaji and everybody around him, and he is lying in the ocean of milk. This is what we know. But we don't know the actual form of his, because he is constantly in the state of Yoga Nidra. Human beings cannot even conceive this form. He is effulgent like the sun and beyond the darkness of ignorance. He is all effulgent. Nobody needs to give him the light. You don't take a torch and see him. No. He is the light. He is the effulgence. And he is also beyond this darkness of ignorance. With him, everything becomes crystal clear. So when you are focused on cleaning your mind of all the dirt that is there, and only focusing on the divine Lord, that is Krishna himself, then when you die, you will only straight away come to this form, which is called the Purusha, and you will be dissolved in it. So we have come to the end of verse 9, so we will stop over here.